Tonight, the Riders head off to Winnipeg for the Grey Cup. Closing arguments are made in a historic murder trial. And the Premier receives a vote of confidence at the Sask Party convention.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. Closing arguments have been made in a trial of the man accused of killing Misha Pavelick. However, due to the large amount of evidence entered in the trial, jury members have yet to be charged to reach a verdict. Sierra D'Souza Butts explains what both the Crown and defense had to say today.
12 jury members heard an overview of the evidence presented in the ongoing trial of the man accused of second-degree murder in connection to the death of Misha Pavelick in 2006, as both the Crown and defense delivered their closing arguments. The Crown prosecutor told jurors there was sufficient evidence that proves the accused stabbed the 19-year-old, arguing the accused was identified in the group of young men who were seen attacking Pavelick, breaking down a list of other people involved in the fight and why they couldn't have been the ones who fatally stabbed him at a graduation party in 2006. The prosecution also mentioned the accused's demeanor after word got out about Pavelick's death that night should prove he was at fault. The Crown reminded jurors about a fight between a group of girls that happened at the party, stating a witness testified the accused used his knife to cut open the tent. In its closing arguments, the defense stated that although the accused may have been involved in attacking Pavelick, the jury cannot be certain which fight the accused participated in, as it is unclear if there were one or two fights that involved Pavelick. Adding, the evidence presented also suggests someone else aside from the accused was involved and played a role in Pavelick's death. The defense asked the jury to consider the timeline of when witnesses gave their statements to police in 2006 compared to their trial testimony 19 years later. The defense also says the woman attacked in the tent did not speak to the accused using a knife to get inside. The jury will be charged to deliberate a verdict after the judge has given instructions, which started Monday afternoon and will continue Wednesday morning. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
A third person has been charged in an ongoing Regina homicide investigation. A 16-year-old boy is now facing a number of charges, including second-degree murder in relation to Regina's 10th homicide of the year. It happened on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue. A 19-year-old man was shot and later died. The youth facing charges cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. 44-year-old Trevor Whitequill and a 17-year-old girl are also charged in the death. Lawyers made closing arguments in a hearing for a Saskatoon police officer appealing his dismissal. Sergeant Robbie Taylor was fired from the Saskatoon Police Service in March for his friendship with a Hells Angel associate whose identity is under publication ban. Ashley Smith, a lawyer for the Saskatoon Police Service, said Taylor used his position as a police officer to benefit the associate. Smith referenced Chief Cam McBride's testimony that the friendship put the police service at risk of being perceived as corrupt. Meanwhile, Taylor's lawyer argued people are more important than perception and said Taylor is an exceptional officer that upholds the core values of the police service, saying he was trying to be a good influence for the associate. Well, those who are traveling between Regina and Saskatoon, at least on Sunday, may have witnessed a bit of a spectacle as a tractor trailer was lost to a fire. On November 9th, around 3 p.m., Lumsden RCMP local firefighters received a report of a semi on fire on Highway 11, around 2 kilometers east of Lumsden. Traffic on the highway was temporarily stopped until the fire was contained. It was reopened shortly after. No injuries were reported to police. An initial investigation determined that the fire was not the result of criminal activity. Sabine joins us now for our first look at weather and rather mild conditions after that cool weekend.
Yeah, I was saying that maybe it was just Rider Nation that started heating things up over the weekend and pushed the temperatures back above zero, Lee, and that's how it's going to stay for the rest of this week. We've seen a lot more sunshine throughout the province, and as of right now, it does not look like we'll be dealing too much with precipitation. Now, we are still seeing a few areas in the northeast with freezing rain warnings. Many of them have lifted, and we'll continue to see those start to lift as we head into this evening. And temperatures, like I said, climbed well above above the seasonal mark. If you see right there, current temperatures still quite nice, especially in the southwest. 14 for Maple Creek, 10 in Moose Jaw, 10 also in Kindersley, and even as we get further up into the northern areas, Prince Albert and La Ronge still sitting within the seasonal range. So a warmer day overall for much of the province. The average daytime high is usually hovering around 1 to 2 degrees. We climbed up to about 10 late this afternoon in the Queen City, and those temperatures are expected to stick around for the rest of this week. But I'll have all those details and more coming up in your full forecast. Lee?
Thank you, Sabine. Well, it's been a long 12 years for Rough Rider fans, from dark seasons not making the playoffs to heartbreaking losses. But now the team is back in the Grey Cup game, and Rider Nation cannot wait. Donovan Meese has more.
It's been a long time since Rider Nation has had a Grey Cup game to cheer for, and now fans sending their team to Winnipeg, gathering outside Mosaic Stadium, writing messages of support for their favorite players. What do you remember from 2013?
That was my best moment as a Rider fan. It doesn't get any better, actually.
Good luck, Green Machine. We believe. Good luck. I think I think that's awesome.
Tommy Neal's touchdown catch in the final minutes Saturday night, sending Saskatchewan to their first Grey Cup game since 2013.
Oh, it was amazing. Definitely one of the most political moments I've ever fan done it.
The team is feeling the support from the entire province.
Y'all ready? Y'all got faith in us, right? That's all I needed to hear. Let me get a hoorah! Let's go, baby. We gonna finish this thing for you guys. One more. One more.
Hopeful it is their time to bring it home.
We're really looking forward to going Sunday, representing you guys, this province, and doing the best we can to bring home this Grey Cup, and we can't wait to celebrate with you guys.
Hopefully, we can pack this place a little bit more on the way back. What you think? Much love, baby. Go Riders. Let's go.
Donovan Meese, CTV News, Regina.
A popular road in Regina's downtown core has reopened now that the city has concluded majority of its construction. Construction on 11th Avenue between Broad and Albert Street has finished. The City of Regina's 4-year revitalization project focuses on upgrading the underground infrastructure along with rebuilding its roads and sidewalks all across 11th Avenue. Although construction has ended, the city says it will continue to have bus stops at Victoria Park, Lawrence Street, 12th Avenue, and Albert Street for public transit users. As the city plans to improve its frequency of buses pending council's approval, Regina Transit will return back to having buses drive down 11th Avenue.
If you come down here at night, you know, all the buses come down, meet together, transfers occur. If we were moving away from that model, we need increased frequency to make sure if people do want to have transfers, that if they miss a bus, they're not waiting an hour for the next one. So that budget request is asking for increased frequencies to make sure that we have the correct service for customers if they do want to do transfers in the downtown.
Currently, 11th Avenue from Hamilton Street to Rose Street closed to vehicle traffic. Sidewalks, though, are open. Construction for the remaining and final phase of the project are expected to resume in spring of next year. They might have lost all but one of their seats in Saskatchewan's 2 major cities, but the Sask Party has not lost confidence in their leader. Premier Scott Moe passed a leadership challenge over the weekend, or least review. But as Keenan Sorokon tells us, there's still some work ahead for the party.
Saskatchewan Party members are giving Premier Scott Moe a clear indication of their support, brushing aside any ideas of replacing him as party leader, with more than 80% of Saskatchewan Party members voting to forge ahead with Moe at the helm.
We couldn't be as MLAs, I think, and as those in the Saskatchewan Party, more proper, more humbled with just the engagement that we saw here today.
Exact results weren't immediately available, but it falls short of 97% of members voting in favor of Moe in 2023. But that's not weighing on his mind, with plenty of work to do.
Really get ready for the next provincial election as a Saskatchewan Party, and as I say, earn back some of that support and some of those seats that we so much want to.
Touted by the Premier as the party's largest ever convention, Saturday not only galvanized support for the party, but allowed for some reflection, where Mo took responsibility for losing support in Saskatoon and Regina in last fall's election.
And that's on us. We need to do better with some of how we interact with people, and a touch more humility isn't a bad thing either.
Gaining back seats in Regina and Saskatoon was a theme, with many supporters wearing pins reading "Earn Back Regina" and "Earn Back Saskatoon." Ken Cheveldayoff in Saskatoon Willow Grove is the only legislative member from those two cities.
I won my previous election by 4,200 votes. I won this last election by 136. So yes, you have to take every vote seriously. You have to not take anything for granted.
The next provincial election is in 2028, and Mo says he plans to be on that ballot as the Saskatchewan Party looks to become the longest-serving government in Saskatchewan's history. Keenan Sorakhan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
As of today, the Saskatchewan Health Authority has begun posting all emergency service disruptions. The updates will cover all disruptions regardless of length, updated daily at 4 p.m. on the SHA's website. Under the previous system, the public was only notified if disruptions lasted a week or more. Patients and families can also call the health line at 811 for the most updated emergency room service information. Canadians across the country are keeping poppies close to their hearts this time of year, and one University of Saskatchewan student is taking that one step further. Hallie Mandrick explains.
Corporal Fitkrit Ukis was inspired to take on a unique project after he first saw a flower that carries a lot of meaning.
When I was in my parents' backyard last summer, I saw a wild poppy growing. I've never seen a poppy in my life, and I thought about it. I don't really see any poppies growing around Remembrance Day.
Wild poppies can be found in Saskatchewan, but they aren't very common due to the specific growing conditions required for them to thrive. After some trial and error, Ukis reached out to the University of Saskatchewan, where he studies horticulture science, to try growing the flowers in the campus greenhouse. Now, the flowers are on display in the school's agriculture building for everyone to enjoy.
I've been seeing a lot of students taking photos and videos of the poppy as well. So I'm very happy to see students and faculties, and even just people from the public, taking a time and moment to reflect back to the poppies, which fills me with a lot of pride and joy.
The history of wearing poppies around Remembrance Day dates back to 1915, when John McCrae wrote a poem about the First World War titled "In Flanders Fields." The poem is often read at ceremonies across Canada on November 11th.
I first heard a poem like every other Canadian students in elementary school, and I truly love that poem. It means to me a field of a bunch of heroes, just sacrificing their own life for the greater good for Canada, but also for the rest of the world, the rest of our allies.
Ukis shared hope that the flowers will serve as an important reminder for those who see them.
I feel like peace, just like a plant, all these poppies, must be nurtured or it can be lost. And I feel like this is something we should really reflect back on too.
Ukis says he plans to take what he learned while growing the poppies this year and grow more next Remembrance Day with the help of the university. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
For many years, the University of Regina has been a destination for international students looking to pursue an education. Now the institution is stepping in to help those fleeing from the worst situations around the world. Mick Favel tells us more.
Spogmi Hashemi is settling in at the University of Regina. 2 weeks ago, she arrived by plane from Qatar to continue her education in peace. She is one of 3 students who made the move, all due to abrupt scholarship funding cuts and the possibility of deportation back to Afghanistan.
It was not easy for all of us. We have to do a lot of arrangements and stuff, but it was long and tiring. But the end, what we saw here and how we have been welcomed from University of Regina's administration and the staff, it was really thrilling, and we were so happy happy.
In Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, women are only allowed to pursue an education up to grade 6. With the loss of funding from the United States Agency for International Development, Canadian nonprofit Women Leaders of Tomorrow have coordinated with the U of R to find a new institution for the students.
This is a great opportunity for the university to really be able to help a group that otherwise wouldn't be able to pursue an education, would have to return to Afghanistan where their lives may be at threat, and to be able to really be able to define what we believe is the power of education.
The U of R has revitalized their Project Resilient Scholarship Program, a program created to support students affected by war and political violence. Project Resilience have already surpassed their fundraising goal, reaching over $800,000, which will go towards providing housing, meals, and other supports needed by students. There are already talks of bringing more students in similar situations to the U of R. For Hashemi, she hopes other women from Afghanistan follow along and pursue their dreams.
Eventually, you're going to make your way out. You're going to make yourself to get to the education that you want. You're going to make your dream come true, and you will reach there. The only thing you have to do is don't give up, stay resilient, and don't lose your hope. Believe in yourself.
Vic Favo, CTV News, Regina.
It's been 6 years since the Regina bypass was completed, with some wondering if the $2 billion highway was necessary. As Wayne Mantica tells us, a Regina author has completed a review of the project, which included walking the entire bypass.
Walking the shoulder of a freeway isn't the best idea, but author Ken Wilson did it as research for a book.
And I remember standing on an overpass, looking down at the highway, and I said to myself, you know what? You're going to have to walk on this thing if you really, really want to do this project. And my heart sank because I don't want to walk on this highway.
The assistant professor of English at the University of Regina had heard a lot about the 44-kilometer highway and its controversial $2 billion cost.
I was just curious about the bypass because I didn't understand it. I didn't know why it was there. I didn't know what its purpose was.
A book launch for Walking the Bypass was held recently at the Regina Public Library.
It's partly natural history. It's partly a broad political history. I don't shy away from some of the accusations that were made around land purchases, but that's not the focus of the book.
Some who have read the book say it's not just about the bypass, but about things passed by in our history.
And then fitting that into our history as settler people who came to this land in a colonial way, and we still live in kind of a colonial culture here.
It took Wilson 2.5 days to walk the bypass.
When I walked it in 2020, it's a little different now. It was empty of traffic, and that told me. And people who like it, people who drive it all the time, that's what they tell me. I said, but I like the bypass. There's never any traffic on it. I said, yeah, exactly.
The author says the bypass is a place that's really hard to connect to as a pedestrian, because it's a place where pedestrians really don't belong. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Nominations now open for the Regina Citizen of the Year, presented by CTV. The award is given each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in community service and is making a difference in our community. To find out how to nominate that special someone, you can go to our website. The deadline to submit your nomination is Friday, December 5th, and we will announce this year's recipient on December 31st.
Still ahead, a look at how an artist is showing support for free transit in Indigenous circles. Plus, Canada loses its Measles-free designation.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation. These heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
Greetings.
Greetings, everyone. Since 2022, the City of Regina has given youth under the age of 14 free access to public transit. Now, Acausa's First Nation artist has teamed up with a local group combining art and advocacy to promote the idea of free public transit for youth 18 and under.
The lights of a city bus shining bright, turning the nighttime into daytime. It's the latest mural concept brought to life by up-and-coming artist Jada Delorme. Located near downtown Regina, Delorme says onlookers may recognize a familiar landscape.
In my art, I always include the land of the living skies, hence why the sky is so bright and colorful. I include water in my own art style to beautify wherever my art ends up, because that's what we're celebrating is our connection to our land.
The mural was created in collaboration with Better Bus Youth, an advocacy group seeking to make public transportation free for all youth in Regina.
I just hope that we can get up to a level where our land is not so polluted, so that we see beautiful murals like this more often, have more of a inclusive community here in the city, and have more chances to show them how loud our voices can really become.
The idea of free transportation for Regina youth is catching on in the city.
And we really, as a community, want to enhance transit and public transportation in our community. And so we're really thrilled as the Salvation Army to be able to lend a wall to this project and beautify our neighborhood and be part of something really exciting.
This is the second mural collaboration between Delorme and Better Bus Youth. In 2023, the duo created this mural in downtown Regina, depicting passengers taking in some Saskatchewan scenery. The new mural can be found at the back of the Salvation Army Men's Shelter. It took 3 weeks to create with the help of 10 volunteers, including residents who live in the building.
They connected to it. They connected to the colors. They connected to my art style. They connected to me. And it was beautiful because I feel like lots of the time people forget that they're people too. And it was just beautiful being able to connect with everybody.
Both murals were funded by the David Suzuki Foundation in an effort to keep the conversation going and the wheels turning on better fare rates for youth and the hope of a greener tomorrow.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Canada has held a measles-free designation since 1998, but declining vaccination rates and sporadic outbreaks have stripped Canada of that status. Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more on what this means.
Measles is one of the world's most contagious diseases, but low vaccination rates leading to a year of outbreaks across the country have lost Canada its measles-free status.
Everything's pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately, we couldn't stop the outbreak completely in time to lose our elimination status. But the direction of travel is that we will get it back.
Canada received its measles elimination status in 1998 after decades of rallying to stop its circulation. But now the virus has come roaring back. From 1998 to 2024, an average of just 91 cases were reported annually. So far this year, 4,800 cases have been confirmed, with another 362 considered probable.
It's because of some localized areas that have been under-immunized, and it's a shame because it's not a reflection of overall Canadian experience.
Measles infects the respiratory tract and then spreads throughout the body, with a rash and high fever the most common symptoms. While most recover, it can cause deafness and, in rare cases, death.
The second the rash starts, it's like anybody would know. It's literally from head to toe, under their feet, in between their toes, everything.
Michelle Sear's daughter was hospitalized with the measles last month. Sear has no idea where she caught it.
Make sure you do your vaccinations. That's my biggest concern, because if I was a little late with hers, and I think that if I would have got it on time, then maybe she wouldn't have got it.
The Public Health Agency of Canada says transmission is slowing, but that it will take time to finish this outbreak. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald on the Great Lakes that killed all men on board.
The 29 men, there's a face behind those men. And behind those men, that's me. That's family members. That's people that still are here, and we love them. This is...
The Fitzgerald was heading from Wisconsin to Detroit in 1975, carrying 26,000 tons of iron ore when it was hit by a brutal storm. It's the largest ship to ever sink in the Great Lakes. The vessel remains at the bottom of Lake Superior, about 27 kilometers northwest of Whitefish Point in Michigan. It's protected as a grave site under Canadian law, banning unauthorized dives to the site.
Still ahead, how one Saskatchewan woman's journal documenting the Toronto Blue Jays made it into the hands of the team itself.
Watch MasterChef Canada Tuesday night on CTV. Then join us Wednesday on Your Morning when we talk to the latest eliminated home cook. We'll see you then.
Taking a look outside through our Skycam, brought to you by Hospitals of Regina Foundation Home Lottery. Absolute final deadline to purchase your tickets is this Friday at midnight. That's the deadline, so make sure you get your tickets in. It was a beautiful day in the Queen City, warmed up well above average to about 10 degrees late this afternoon. Currently sitting at 6 with the winds just close to about 20 kilometers an hour. The winds will probably stay within that range as we head into tomorrow. Now, over in the northeast, we did actually see the entire northeast area covered with those freezing rain warnings. They have started to lift, and we'll continue to see those lift throughout this evening into tomorrow. But the rest of Saskatchewan, we saw mostly clear conditions. Southern Saskatchewan did start out kind of cloudy, but by the afternoon into the rest of the day, we saw mainly clear and sunny conditions. That is expected to continue as we head into tomorrow. And this is what we've got coming up. I really don't have much to show you because we don't have much coming through in terms of active weather. We'll just continue to see the clouds rolling in and out over the next few days. By the time we get into Wednesday, we'll probably see much more clear conditions, mostly sunny as well. But even tomorrow, despite the few areas that we'll see clouds rolling through, for most of the day we will see mostly sunny conditions. Now by Tuesday evening into the overnight, slight chance we could see some scattered precipitation in parts of southern Saskatchewan, but as you can see on the map there, not some large system that's coming through, leaving a lot of rainfall accumulation there. And then you can see by Wednesday morning we'll see a little bit of that cloud cover to start the day, and that'll all clear, leaving us with a mostly clear Wednesday ahead. And by the time we get into Friday, along with the sunshine, we're going to see those temperatures continue to warm. It looks like Friday is going to be the hottest day. Well, I shouldn't say hottest. Should be the warmest day in the next 7 days. And you can see that right there as we head into tomorrow, your forecast. Like I mentioned earlier, the average daytime highs usually hovering around +1, +2. 8 degrees for Lloydminster tomorrow, mainly sunny. 5 and a mix of sun and cloud for Prince Albert. 4 degrees for La Ronge and La Loche, all expecting to see some sunshine there as well. And then continuing to see warmer temperatures, North Battleford 9 with a mix of sun and cloud. 7 and mainly sunny for Saskatoon. Now also just taking note that the average lows are usually hovering around about -8, -9. So we're going to see above average temperatures, daytime highs and the lows both seeing above average, and into double digits for Maple Creek tomorrow. 11 with a mix of sun and cloud. Swift Current 9 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud, and Moose Jaw 8 with a mix of sun and cloud. Similar temperatures for the southeast. Clear conditions tonight. 0 for Weyburn, 1 for Estevan, both expecting to warm up to 8 degrees tomorrow. 9 and mainly sunny for Assiniboia. And we take a closer look at Regina, dipping just below 0 tonight, -1, winds up to about 40. The winds staying within that range tomorrow, mainly sunny conditions, and 7 degrees is our expected daytime high. So what's to come for the next 7 days? Well, pretty much the same. And like I said, the warmest day of the next 7 days looking like Friday. We do eventually see those temperatures dip down, but let's take a look at what's to come for the rest of this week. Like I mentioned, tomorrow mainly sunny, 7 degrees. Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud, 5 degrees. 6 and mainly sunny Thursday and Friday. 10 degrees is the expected daytime high. By Saturday, that's when we'll start to see those temperatures come back down into that seasonal range. So 1 and a mix of sun and cloud Saturday, mainly sunny on Sunday, with 1 continuing to be the daytime high, and then we dip back down below 0 by the time we get into next week. More cloud cover rolling in, and the wind speeds expected to pick up, with the winds gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour. So I would say it's a great week ahead. We will see those temperatures dip a little as we head into the week. weekend, but as of right now, no precipitation, Lee. We're not expecting to see those temperatures get really, really cold, much colder than average. So we've got some great temperatures and great days ahead for this week.
Looking forward on Sunday, at least to Winnipeg for Rider fans that might make the trip. It's about +1.
Yeah, we're hovering anywhere between +1 to -1, depending on what model we're looking at. And again, no precipitation, no, as of right now,
yeah,
no snowfall or anything like that expected for that day.
A lot warmer than it was last weekend.
I would have to agree, yes.
Thanks, Bean. Well, as we learned last month, there are a lot of Blue Jay fans in Saskatchewan, perhaps none bigger than a Weyburn woman whose journal chronicling the team is now a part of the franchise's history. Jacob Carr has the story on how the late Leah Van de Sijp's final journal made its way to the Blue Jays head office.
Who's your top 5?
Bo, Laddie, Kurt, Chapman, Springer.
To say Leah Van de Sijp was a diehard Blue Jays fan would be an understatement. Van de Sijp, who passed away in January of 2023, kept journal logs of every single Toronto game during the final years of her life, according to her son, Brent.
She wouldn't miss. She would give us heck if we stopped by after work and started talking to her and she missed a play.
Though Leah harbored a lot of love for the Jays, she was also not afraid to tell it like it is. Her final journal entry was a scathing review of a 2022 wildcard series loss to the Seattle Mariners, where the Blue Jays blew a 7-run lead.
Basically, up 8-1, go and lose it. How pathetic, unbelievable. So, like I said, she didn't pull any punches.
After Leah passed, Brent had a mission to get her last journal into the hands of the Blue Jays. He was able to get in touch with Jessica Bassett, wife of Blue Jays pitcher Chris Bassett, and arranged to turn over the journal during a Jays home game on May 17th. But on May 8th, Brent's wife, Michelle, sent Jessica a text saying that this journal is going to bring the team good luck, and did it ever.
The Jays now, Kenny, as I write it down, a Major League best since May 8th, 44-22.
I truly believe that Mom and her love for the Jays, and just to overturn the last game she saw, maybe like a spiritual guardian.
Toronto would then go on a storybook playoff run, culminating in a gut-wrenching loss in Game 7 of the World Series. Despite the agonizing ending to this season, Brent believes his mother has some unfinished business with the team.
Maybe she celebrated too early. Maybe she got into the red wine, turned it back for a second, and those very close calls in the 9th inning went the other way. She's not gonna lay back on that. She's gonna be back next year, and she's gonna see us to a championship.
Time will tell if the Jays' spiritual guardian can help them to one more win next season and the franchise's first championship since 1993. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Coming up, it was a good weekend, not just for the Riders, but other Saskatchewan football teams as well.
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
The Riders weren't the only Saskatchewan football team celebrating on the weekend. In the Hardy Cup, the U of S Huskies overcame a 15-point deficit to the U of R Rams in the fourth quarter to win their 22nd Canada West Conference title.
He's kicked some big field goals for the Saskatchewan Huskies, but none quite as important as this one. The kick is up, and this one is good.
Lucas Scott's field goal, 25 seconds left, gave the Huskies a 25-24 win. Rams did try to punt a rouge on the last play, but just couldn't get it to the end zone. Huskies running back Riker Frank leading the way, 183 yards from scrimmage on the day. Huskies move on to host the Mitchell Bowl against Queens, who upset the undefeated Laurier Golden Hawks in the Ontario final. And that's not it. Junior football, the Saskatoon Hilltops won the Canadian Bowl. The Oregon Sun with a game-winning field goal with 30 seconds left. Hilltops actually led throughout the game until Oregon tied it with just over a minute left. Ryden Grattan made a field goal just a few plays later, and Hilltops won 21-18. It is the 24th time the Hilltops have won the national championship. Western Hockey League, the Regina Pats broke out offensively on Sunday, scoring 7 times to trounce the Swift Current Broncos.
Now rolling puck to center. Ruslan Karimov drives to the Broncos net. Here he comes, powering to the goal. Score!
Kevin Moff had a goal and 2 assists. The Pats scored 3 in the first, 2 in each of the remaining periods. They beat the Broncos 7-1 on home ice. It's the Pats' second win in a row. They head out on a U.S. road trip soon, while the Broncos will try and turn things around on Remembrance Day afternoon against Saskatoon at home.
Red blows a tire. Semeluk on the puck, comes in right wing side. Semeluk backhand, score!
Down the highway was Ethan Semenuk's 5th of the year in overtime. That was the difference. Moose Jaw edged the Red Deer Rebels 3-2. Warriors snap a short little losing skid. They're back in action Friday in Swift Current. And the University of Regina Cougar women's basketball program has a new all-time leading scorer.
Karamiski now into the game. Quick pass in for Belmore under the hoop. And she's one.
Jade Belmore now has 1,440 points, moving her past Simone Bernard, formerly known as Bouchard, who has held that record since 2004, 21 years. She finished tonight with 22 points. The Cougars swept the Lethbridge Pronghorns and are unbeaten on the season.
Still ahead, new provincial legislation to eliminate an issue for potash companies.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your rural forecast heading into tomorrow. Same story that we've been talking about. We're going to continue to see above zero temperatures, above seasonal temperatures, and much more sunshine is expected. As you can see for Hudson Bay, mainly sunny 5, Wynyard mainly sunny 6, over in the west 9 degrees and mainly sunny for Kindersley and Lloydminster. Watrous and Meadow Lake 7, 6 for Spiritwood, 4 for Melfort, which is still warmer than average, and then 10 is the expected daytime high for Outlook. When we get closer to the southern border, pretty much similar temperatures. Some areas still in the double digits. Coronach, East End Cypress, Maple Creek expecting to get up to 11 along with Rosetown. 7 for Broadview and Carlisle, and Pilot Butte and Lumsden. 5 for Kenora and 9 for Leader. Now if we take a closer look at Bethune, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available through SaskTel tomorrow, seeing mainly sunny conditions. 6 is the expected daytime high. Winds up to 40. Now that 6 degrees is the temperature. However, there will be about a wind chill of 2 degrees.
The incident happened on November the 4th, 2025 at around 11:30 in the evening at a home on the 1300 block of Garnet Street. Video surveillance from neighboring houses shows 2 men leaving the residence walking northbound down Garnet Street right before the house ignites into flames. If you know one or both of these suspects, you're asked to call Regina Police or Crime Stoppers.
I'm Constable Dana Adams with the Regina Police Service. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash reward for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina. Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
The provincial government is removing a hurdle faced by potash mining companies when mineral rights holders can't be located, resulting in large areas of ore left untouched. But as Wayne Mantiga tells us, the government is now offering a way around that.
Some Saskatchewan farms have changed hands over the decades, with mineral rights left behind. Some families may be entitled to subsurface rights revenue without knowing it. It's a problem for potash companies that can't identify or locate the owners.
And we are running into those situations which then cause us to have to mine in ways that are very inefficient, and or we leave those minerals behind, stranded forever. We can't go back and mine at a later date.
The provincial government is offering a solution. Proposed legislation will allow potash companies to proceed with mining where reasonable attempts have been made to find missing rights holders. The government will collect money payable and hold it in trust.
There's a 5-year period where they must do
into, an intense search to try to find the landowners. And if after that point in time that I'll be able to provide a ministerial order for them to proceed.
The proposed legislation has the support of the NDP.
But right now, it looks like a real common sense approach that is going to help the industry do what it needs to do and keep building our economy and creating those good jobs.
A significant amount of money could be involved.
So right now, we estimate about $500 million worth of mineral rights would be able to be accessed by Mosaic by potentially using this new legislation.
Individuals who can trace ownership of subsurface rights can contact the Ministry of Energy and Resources to file a claim. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
A Regina company has been fined over a workplace injury from 2021. Brand Industries was found guilty on violating occupational health and safety regulations over an incident back in September of 2021, where a worker was seriously injured while operating a forklift. The charges surround failure to ensure only trained operators are required or permitted to operate powered equipment, resulting in injury. In total, the company has been fined $55,000. Let's take a look at your stock markets and some green arrows. The TSX jumped by 404 points today, while the Dow Jones also jumped up by 381 points. The Canadian dollar did not move much because you can't go sideways and then be at 0.808. So let's just say it's at 71.35 cents US. I didn't move. Yeah, you did. Commodities, gold. Up big, $114.50. West Texas Intermediate crude is up 41 cents, while Western Canadian Select crude is up 12 cents. And gas in Regina is commonly found at most places, because it hasn't moved, this one for sure, $1.27.9 cents per liter.
More than 13,000 vehicles are being recalled over an engine concern. Lexus and Toyota models are on the list of vehicles being recalled over a fear the engine could stall. It is only a problem for cars with a 3.4-liter twin-turbo engine. The Lexus models are the GX 550 and LX 600. For Toyota, it's the Tundra. Toyota recalled 10,000 vehicles last year for a similar problem. Owners will be notified by mail. Barrick Mining reported a U.S. $1.3 billion profit in its latest quarter. It beat estimates despite lower production. The Canadian miner was able to capitalize on the record price of gold. Barrick is raising its dividend and also buying back shares. Restaurant Brands has big plans for Burger King in China. There are about 1,200 locations already in the country, but Restaurant Brands is partnering with a Chinese asset manager to expand. The company aims to have 4,000 locations by 2035. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, St. Denis Medical, followed by Stumble at 7:30. I'm going to have to watch that to figure out what it is. Maybe it's about how I read the news. The Voice at 8 o'clock, The Weakest Link at 9, and Tracker at 10. And you've got your national and local news. Hey, Canadian rockers 3-Day Grace are playing a show at the Brand Centre next spring.
Joining 3 Days Grace are special guests Finger 11 and Royal Tusk.
Ooh.
It's their lone Saskatchewan stop on this tour, set for April 25th, 2026. Tickets go on sale on Friday.
Ah, you a fan of Royal Tusk? All right.
Tim Hortons is offering free coffee to veterans and armed forces members to mark Remembrance Day.
The company says Canadian veterans and active duty military members who present a valid government-issued veterans service card or military service ID card can receive a free hot beverage of their choice tomorrow. Promotion applies to all locations across Canada. Tim Hortons' president says it's a gesture of appreciation for their service and sacrifice. And I'm sure everyone will be doing their appreciation. Tomorrow, of course, is Remembrance Day. We'll have a, on CTV, we will have a full-blown coverage for sure. And we do not have a 6 o'clock newscast or 5 o'clock newscast because of Remembrance Day. So we will be back on Wednesday, right?
That's right.
That's right. So enjoy your day tomorrow. Go for a walk. It'll be nice. Not in a bypass, though.
We'll see you Wednesday.